Now, an increasing number of 401k retirement plans automatically enroll participants. 16% of all 401k plans now have automatic enrollment, which is up 1% from 5 years ago. At first glance, it looks like a good thing. More people are saving for retirement, but it's really not that simple. According to a report from the Government Accountability Office released exclusively on the Bloomberg terminal today, there are unintended consequences of these plans. Joining us now from Washington is Bovbjerg, who wrote the report. Barbara is the Director of Education, Workforce, and Income Security at the GAO. Welcome, Barbara.
Thanks, Lori.
Go ahead and set the stage. Talk about your findings and what was so surprising about them.
Well, first, I want to set the stage that half of American workers don't have a pension, and that in the past, policymakers have found it easier to help people who are already saving in their pensions than to help people who don't have pensions at all, until automatic enrollment. Automatic enrollment addresses the 10% or so of workers who may have been offered a 401k but don't participate in it. An automatic enrollment, when they're hired, they go directly into the plan, begin contributing, begin receiving employer contributions, and this will raise saving. We think this is a good thing. I do want to caution, though, that as we note in our report, the default investment options tend to be target date funds, which, as you and others have reported, are not always very clearly explained to people, are not well understood. We think that's something that bears more examination.
So then, do you think target date funds should continue to be a recommended default option for automatic enrollment in 401k plans?
Oh, they absolutely could be. I think that the question is, how do they differ one from the other? They're certainly not all the same, and how can you explain them better to people? At the request of Senate Aging, who is convening a hearing tomorrow on this Wednesday on this topic, we are starting some work on qualified default options, including target date funds.
Okay, so
we'll know more soon.
How would the initiatives, as we understand them today, work to fill in the gaps in the U.S. retirement system?
Well, automatic enrollment could bring in a substantial part of that 10% or so of people who don't participate in plans that they're offered. We also talk in the report about other types of proposals that could help the remaining 40% of the American workforce that don't have a pension at all. The auto IRA, which has been supported by the Obama administration. I understand that they're working on a legislative proposal for this. It has potential. There are various state plans that also have potential. We do say in our report, though, that we think that the details of how these work will be very important to the success or the failure of the proposals.
Now, with regard to these auto IRAs, as you're referring to them, critics might be quick to point out that if this is something at the state level, so many state budgets are squeezed right now.
Well, for the state proposals, that is absolutely true. We don't see a lot of movement in that area right now. I also want to say the state proposals are, in their nature, a state-by-state sort of thing. The auto IRA would be a nationwide approach and would pretty much obviate the need to have state plans.
All right. Many thanks, Barbara Bovbjerg, Associate Director of the Government Accountability Office, on their findings of 401k plans today.